Oh, for real?
Yeah, like
It's a lot of turnover.
I mean, people moving on, people doing what they got to do. I mean, people, making decisions, which is cool. It's
Yeah,
cool. It's
you
just,
know,
I mean, it
change
is
is
what it is.
inevitable. You know, it happens.
Change is inevitable, man. That junk is inevitable. So yeah, as we talk about our personal issues on live, yay!
Yeah, that change. You know, you hate that because they turn around and then they want to send you back to, after that, then they want to send you back to, they send you right on back to other stuff.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Well, I did the wrong thing. Hold on.
You know you lying right now. You know you on live,
Yeah,
right? Okay, this one, this,
I
this,
think
just,
I shared it on the wrong page twice. Hold on one second.
just in
Yeah, that's
case.
what I did. That's what I
Right,
did. All right,
right,
so let me go take that one off.
right, right.
All right, all right, sir. So it's a dreary day, but we're gonna make it do what it do anyway. We're gonna bring the brightness out into the world to this on this evening. We're gonna make it a bright day on this evening anyway. Hold on.
Brighter day, brighter day,
Let me
brighter day,
let
brighter
me
day,
share this.
brighter day, brighter day, brighter day, brighter
Hold on, let's see.
day, brighter day,
You said
brighter day, brighter day.
that was
That's the
like,
joke. I'm about to find that joke. Mm.
that's old school.
Hey, hey, hey. So I'm doing my little dance.
Hold
Hey,
on,
hey.
let me go on here and share. Hold on. Folks coming into the room. Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
What's up, y'all? Hey.
Let's spread the love today, y'all. Let's like and share. Spread the love. You know, folks be saying that they didn't hear about this and I didn't know about this, that, and the other. We got to get the word out. So, folks, we can't hoard it all to ourselves. We got to get the words out to the highways and byways, as they say in church, right?
Oh
They
God.
tell you in church, let's get the word out to the highways
Word
and
out the highways
byways.
and byways. You gotta
Yeah,
beat the bushes, spread the word.
yeah, spread the word to the highways and byways.
Good work. Do the good work. Get
Do
it
the good
done.
work. Let me share this. Okay, one more thing. All right.
Brighter day, brighter
I
day.
guess I should share. Let me know. Let me not be unselfish. Let me share it to the music page. They need Jesus too. No, I'm just playing. Everybody needs some kind of rationing in this day and time. We can all
Mm-hmm.
ration
No
together.
doubt. No doubt.
Ration this thing. All right. That's it. Okay. That should be it. All right. Now to the plan at hand. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Unscripted, featuring your host, Charles Dixon, and the man of the hour, Mr. Adam Ford. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm not sure if I'm the man of the hour or not.
the man of the hour. Let's call him the man of the hour, y'all.
Mm,
Anyway,
mm.
as these things begin to brew and brew and fester each day, Mr. Ford, people walk away with different recollections. They walk away with different things that they want. How sometimes a person might have a question they might be a little afraid to ask, and then they'll come back the next day and they'll be a little bit more bolder. So
Right.
this is the case for one of the viewers. So I'll start with the first question. It's a couple of them. I'll start with the first one. Um, hmm. Will a man who is serious about you make it known? That's one question.
Okay.
The second question is, from a man's perspective or a woman's experience, I know it's merely subjective. How long does it take a man to know a woman is the one for him, or when did she know he was her one? Do you feel the man always knows first? Let's go with that question first. Uh, from a man's perspective, um, how long does it take a man to know a woman is the one for him? Or when did she know he was for her? Does the man, do you feel the man always knows first? All right, Mr. Ford, I got to break you in. Go on,
Well, this is your show. Why you not answering the question first, man? Come on, man.
All right. So let me just look back at it again. Because some of these questions, I gotta look back at them again. All right. From a man's perspective, how long does it take a man to know a woman is the one for him? Do you feel the man always knows first? Now that's a in this day and time that we live in, Mr. Ford, I'm sure as you know, it's coming up in life and in churchdom and so on and so forth. Sometimes the women feel they know before the man.
Okay.
I mean, how many times have the man entered into a particular building, a particular area, place, or something, and he has overheard somebody saying, "Girl, that might be him." Now you don't know the man from a can of paint,
Right?
but because you are due a promise, right? Because you are due a promise,
Right.
you self-proclaim that this is him.
Right.
So, and so I think that's a running thing there because the women, I think some of the women, they feel as though they got the thing too. They got to figure it out. They know who he is as much as he's supposed to know who she is. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's all kind of it really is kind of subjective.
Yeah.
Because it really does depend upon the individual in terms of where they are in their life, where they are psychologically, where they are emotionally, where they are financially, where they are spiritually. There's a lot of different factors that you have to take into consideration in order to be able to determine whether a person I guess is ready to really commit in a relationship, from the very beginning, that they know with all assurity that the person that they are with is the person. I think there are a lot of things that play into that, your own personal experience, where you've been, what you've done, who you've been with, things that have been done to you, life experiences that you've gone through, all of these things. This is certainly not an exhaustive list, but all of these things certainly play a major, major part in how you are going to view the person that you have a potential interest in. So it's kind of hard to nail down with some degree of certainty, whether or not if that person's for you. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things involved in it. You are the only one that can really answer that question. You yourself as an individual.
Each individual.
Yeah, each individual it has to be the one for themselves that can make that determination.
Right.
I don't know. It kind of depends. It kind of depends. And here's the thing, though, too. Here's the thing: every relationship is not the same. Every relationship. I'm telling you as a living witness. Every relationship is not the same.
Wow, on tonight.
They're not the same. They are different. And I say that knowing that even as people, we go into certain relationships changed.
Right.
We go into relationships different than we did previously, based off that previous experience. And so that definitely it plays a large part in our mindset, whether or not we walk into a relationship, believing that the person that we are about to be with is the person, or the person that we are having an acquaintance with or an association with is just a friend, or is just somebody who we just happen to see walk by, or we're not going to be that serious with them because this is you're for whatever reasons you may or may not be the one. So that's a very interesting question to kind of get an answer for.
Yeah, but for those of you that are just tuning in, the question we are pondering over today is basically, how long does it take a man to know a woman is the one for him? And also, do we as men feel that we're the ones who recognize this first? So I think I'll be first to. I'll throw the first controversial blow out there.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
And from this point, the rest of the show will probably shift. But anyway, hear this very clearly. I'm going to put on the armor, breastplate of armor when I say this. But here's the thing. And hear me very succinctly and closely and slowly. His choice is made once her audition ends. His choice is made once her audition ends. Like anything in life, you go to these things. Let's just say, remember on Soul Food when the cousin that was wayward, she asked the husband to come and play for her at her audition. Mm-hmm. She went. She auditioned. She danced well. During the time they were watching her, they were thinking and they were saying, good. That was good. That was a good twirl, this, that, and other. But they did not come to a decision until she stopped dancing. So what am I saying? Sometimes people are merely dancing in front of the person, whether it be men or women. We're auditioning who we think that they want us to be and the part they want us to play. So we're auditioning and we're waiting for someone to say, stop, I'm ready to make a choice now. And so sometimes some of us are in relationships where the person isn't saying anything. They're just letting you perform and perform and perform and perform. And then here's the catch-22. The reason, you know why men wait until your audition is over and then say, hey, perhaps that's you, because just like any other person, everybody knows it's no different than the man who won the lottery. The man who wins the lottery, he has 3 million, 5, 10 million, whatever. He knows friends are not going to be hard to come by in this space that I'm in.
Right.
Everybody's going to want to be like Adam. Can I hang out? Can I ride your boat? Can I come to your crab fest? Whatever it is you're doing on a large scale, everybody wants to be there. Right. However, men know the same thing. Men know, and granted, if there was a day and time that women could take the whole marriage reins from men, I'm sure they would. If women can say we get married, if women can say we get married and that's it, that'll be the end of it. However, because the onus is on the man to recognize the woman in this traditional sense, and propose, and she accepts, she chooses him and goes on.
Yeah.
Men walk through life saying, okay, now this is only to the woman that's interested in him, not just the one that's just being a suitor, but to the woman that's authentically interested in him. He knows to a degree there is an audition going on. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want to mess up this. She want to make sure, that's why she's on the phone with her mom and her friends about a certain dish. She wants to make him dinner because she doesn't want to mess up because I'm auditioning. And then throughout the rest of the time, she's acting a certain way and, making sure she's, doing all of these special things that normally probably aren't her organic behavior.
Okay.
It's probably not who she is really, like who she's at her base level. She's doing these things because she possessed the talents to maybe do them, but we all do what's in us naturally to do. Other than that, we perform it. And so I think men kind of just say, okay, whenever you get finished pretending you think I like this or faking to think I like that, then we'll see the real you. And somebody said, but isn't that fake? Correct. The point is, Danielle, we are waiting for the real. It's not that we don't discount the woman. We're just waiting for the real to show up.
Right.
And then that's when the person can say, okay, this is the real at base level, good, bad, and ugly. Now he chooses. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. You know?
Okay, so I'll go with you on that line of thinking. Okay, that actually, I started thinking about my own life in terms of the relationships that I've been in, and those who I have, have dated in the past or whatever like that. And okay, yeah, I'll buy into the whole idea, the whole school of thought of the audition, because you're right, we do kind of like. We do kind of like send our representative, like we like to say, we send our representative, we put on our best dress or our best suit, we're on our best behavior. But like you said, it's not until your real self actually shows up.
Yeah, that's it.
And you reveal yourself for who you really are, not the person who is trying to impress you, not the person who's trying to get you, but your real you, how you are on a daily basis. That's the person. And see, that I think that is key, because that's going to be an indication as to whether or not I can handle you in terms of who you really are.
In full totality.
Exactly. Not the person who you want me to see you as.
Yeah.
Person that you are portraying yourself as, but the person behind the portrayal, the actual person. And I think a lot of times we get in trouble because we don't know when to send the representative home.
Wow.
And we don't know when to actually show up as our authentic self.
Yeah. Right.
Because a lot of times what we do is our representatives do so much. We do a lot in terms of being impressive and realizing that some of the stuff that we're doing is actually a little bit of out of character for us. Absolutely. So when we stop doing the representation of who we want the person to believe that we are, then that person who's looking at us is probably going to be disappointed, because we've represented represented ourselves in a way that's not authentic. It's not genuine. And so when we finally let down, they're going, well, that's not the same person that I was dating a couple of days ago. That's actually a different person.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you're right. And so we're at this place where, like I said, we live a life in costume and performance. And we are fearful to show our real selves. But here's the thing. We want people, you know that show where Nick Cannon is the host and they're doing the Masked Singer?
Oh, yeah.
We want to win the contest without removing the mask.
Yeah.
This is the problem. This is why you're not finding him or her, or they're not recognizing you or her, is because you want to be chosen singing, performing, dancing under a mask and making us say, sound good, look good, but who is it really?
Who is it really? Who are you? I don't
have enough to make a decision yet. Yeah. Because I still haven't seen what's under that mask. And this is, listen, here's the thing. Here's a clear thing. How many times, and this is men or women, have you been in a relationship and the person, this is a perfect example, the person starts out and they hitting you with a lot of things that you like, wow, this person has a lot of good qualities. They do this, they do that, they do all of these things. But the minute you hit a rift, those things cease.
Yeah.
No more massaging your hand for no reason. No more touches. No more, none of those things that kind of kept you in the midst of what was happening. They stop because the person is saying, you know what, that didn't work. So I'm not going that route no more. I'm not going. I don't feel like performing over there no more. So I'm going to basically, I'm boycotting, because you're only boycotting because it's not who you are truly through and through. Right. It's the performer in you that you have been used to. Look, let's just be honest. The performer can get us some roles.
Oh yeah,
we can't keep it, but it can get us some roles. Because all you need to do is look half the par. Don't be easy on the eyes or have something going for you, a little bit of this, that, and the other. You can talk the minimal talk, and then make a bunch of promises and get the part. The
Right.
problem is once you get in there and once things going, you're gonna most of us, fatigue sits in, and when fatigue sits in, what do people do when they out there on those corners passing out flyers and they got on the tire shop outfit? When they sit down, the first thing they do, they say they take the hood off because it's hot,
Right.
And they feel like I don't want to keep this up. I'm tired now. I'm exhausted. I don't have time to keep pretending and keep being somebody who I'm not.
Right.
So, that's good.
Yeah, and you're like, you're like we're saying, you're representing yourself in a way that's not true to who you actually are.
Right.
And so while you're on the date, you're buying into the idea of the person as to who they're trying to represent themselves as. You're buying into their idea as to who they want to see. They want you to see them as, and never disclosing who they really are. And just like you said, you really don't find out who somebody is until you actually go through an issue with them.
Right.
Or a problem arises. Because then that's when your real self shows up. That's when your real self starts to manifest itself. And now you're operating like you normally would.
Let's help some folks on tonight. That's all right. I see, Miss. We want all of the listeners to not only listen and not only enjoy, but we want you to walk away understanding. So if you don't understand, please by all means ask us. But I see Mrs. Danielle, Mrs. AKA Kojic. She says, "I get it, but I don't fully agree." And we all come to the table and we all don't agree. But here's the kicker. Sometimes there is a blessing in not being recognized until it's time. See, we want to be recognized immediately. Women want to meet the guy. Oh, so you don't know who I am? You don't know who I am? You don't know who? Oh, you're gonna mess up on your blessing because you're not gonna choose me in the time frame that I've already that 9, 10 out of 10 I already got played out of my mind. Because you give it to women, in their mind, if you meet me and we at a certain age, what's wrong with us getting married in 6 months and all those kind of things? Well, it's a lot wrong with it when you 40 and 40 years of problems plus, because it's not just, this ain't nobody 15 and 20 years old starting out just trying to get married. This is somebody who have lived a lifetime of issues and problems and whatever elements that come with it. So that's all the more for you to be cautious and careful before you make the decision. But I'm telling you, the blessing in sometimes some of us don't need to be recognized even in our relationships until it is time. Because when you call yourself being recognized ahead of time and the person doesn't choose you, it is now drawing a conflict of conclusion. And it is saying, if you know who I am, then why haven't you pulled the trigger? So that's why sometimes you don't need to be recognized until it's time. We always want to be seen and determined who we are to you. And don't you know I'm your wife or your husband? Guess what? All that is fine when it is time to take action. But it's not. It ain't good when it's not. When there's no action going to come behind it. What's the point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why it's important, especially in the early stages of the relationship. Like I like to say, there has to be a degree of disclosure. Now, having said that, you don't want to scare the person off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's going to take for you to use and employ some wisdom and some timing as to when and how you gradually begin to reveal your authentic self.
Yes.
Because if I give you all of me on day one, you're not going to want to see me. You're going to run away screaming, okay? No, if you give me all of you on day two, I guarantee you I'm not hanging around. That's too much. Wow. That's too much at one point in time. But if you operate within a parameter by which you gradually begin to reveal yourself to the person and you disclose yourself to the person over a passage, over the course of time, then I get to learn who you are.
Right.
I get to learn who you are in various different situations. I get to learn who you are in your various modes of operation. I get to learn who you are in all of your different moods. I get to learn who you are in the midst of your friends, your family, my family. I get to learn who you are in different places at different times, so that when it comes down to the timing in terms of me making a decision as to whether or not I want to be with you for the rest of my life, I have all the information that I need. And now I can make a decision and move forward with the rest of our lives being together.
But see, here's the problem. If we really are honest, if we're really honest, we don't want to give people time to really digest us.
Yeah. Okay.
We want them to consume us when they're tipsy. We want the benefit of the tipsy decision. We want you to come and kind of just be enamored with us on the surface and the thought of what can be, and choose me right now because I'm good. Because the more time plays out, the more that person is likely to see the truth. And when they see the truth, then it's people sober up.
that really is I think that's a problem, because you would want them to see the truth of who you are, not your representative, but who you actually are. Because again, you got to live with this person. If you decide to marry somebody based off of that representation, you are going to be woefully disappointed. Because that was just their representative in terms of how they presented themselves to you. You know what I'm saying? And now you got to deal with the bad breath. You got to deal with the crumbs in your eyes. You got to deal with the dandruff. You got to deal with the messy toenails. You got to deal with the person as they really are, not who they represented themselves as. It takes for us to be honest. It takes for us to be transparent. And again, we have to develop a sense of timing in terms of how we reveal ourselves to the people that we're with, so that they can also make a decision as to whether or not we are going to be together forever.
Right. Wow. I'm telling you. Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters, is that I'm showing you who I really am.
But see, here's the thing. Let's work it from both sides. All women at some point or another have encountered someone, a man of means. Like he got this, he got that, he can pay this, he got all these things. Well, sometimes a lot of women have made decisions because someone has appeared to have the answer. And the answer is this person can answer all things. Even though I just met him, he bought my son Donnell some shoes because he knew he needed some. He took him out. He's being a real father figure. He bought this. He gave me some money on my rent. He did all of these things within a few months. And then the person is saying, I really can see me being with you for the long haul, being married with you. And then here's the trick to that. Yeah, you can get caught under the guise of an answer. But when you decide to say I do under that guise, now you become my slave. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My provision hooked you, but my captivity is what's going to keep you. And that's the thing that we do. And even when it comes to the women, sometimes women are in a hurry for something that they have not fully digested. You just want to come to the table and say, listen, I'm supposed to be married. I'm at a certain age and this should happen. And you have no idea, aside from him just being a burly man, holding this or not holding that and appearing to be good for me. You haven't digested him. You really don't know what you're asking for. And a lot of times, just to think, if you just coming straight out the box and saying, well, I want to get married, I just need me a man. Okay, that man, men can come with so much. Yeah. And you have the slightest of what you're asking for. So this is the importance of sometimes not being in a rush, because being in a rush, you sell your own self short.
Oh yeah.
Rush, you're selling yourself short because you don't know you're gonna pick up tons of strays along the way.
Oh yeah.
Being in a rush. And so sometimes you have to just be thoughtful, think that thing through, and just don't just look for a suitor, look for the fit. Not a suitor, the fit. The fit is what's going to sustain. The
Yeah.
suitor is interchangeable. You don't
Yeah.
want that. You want the person that's going to come in and fit that perfect piece of the puzzle in your life, not just the person that just can look good and cover the board and look like they belong. You understand?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're saying, because you know what, I'm realizing that a lot of times what happens is when we get into relationships, sometimes we have a tendency to want to cover our not so good parts.
Absolutely.
And so what we do is we overcompensate in some other area in order to distract the person away from the deficiency that's there, instead of making a disclosure of the deficiency and letting the person themselves make a decision as to whether or not they want to continue with you. So what happens is we cover the deficiency with some glitter, as one person commented. We cover it with a little bit of gold, with a little bit of silver. We cover it by doing things over and abundant, over than what we should do. And as we're in the whole thing, what we're trying to do is we're trying to capture this person based off of something that's not entirely true. And so by the time they get all the way in, and then we no longer can continue to do what we did, now they see us for who we really are. Now we've been duped. We've been hoodwinked. We've been tricked. We've been deceived. You know what I'm saying? Because now you've based your decision to be with this person based off of their duplicitous behavior with you.
Man. Miss Big Bruce, check your inbox, sir. Check your Facebook inbox. But anyway, I'm telling you, we gotta do this thing in a way where, again, you gotta, I guess you have to value yourself better than what we have. Because if you value yourself, you're not such in a hurry to give it away.
Right.
And the reason we're in a hurry to give it away is because we don't quite value who we are. Because if we did, we would be so much more careful with who we allow to handle us.
Yeah.
Because some people just be there. I mean, you can look at some people and you can just kind of check them out and see how they are. And you can see all of the beauty in them. But the shame is they don't see it. Yeah. And if they don't see it, what can you do with that?
Yeah.
If you don't see you, how do you expect me to? You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly what I'm saying. They don't see the value in themselves. And so what ends up happening is they try to embellish or they try to magnify other areas that they believe are more attractive than this other area that they have low self-esteem about.
Yes.
And as a result, it's an unbalanced picture of who you actually are. It's not a true representation of who you actually are. And now I'm dealing with somebody who's putting on a front, who's perpetrating a fraud, who's putting on airs, who's operating under false pretenses in order to get something that they really probably shouldn't have in the first place, at least until they get themselves together and are willing to make a full, transparent disclosure as to who they really are. Here's the thing. None of us are perfect. All of us got stuff. Every last one of us got some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, if you want somebody to be real with you, you got to be real with them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, or like you said, how else can you expect some change to it to happen?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You can't expect the change if you don't do it yourself.
Right. You want change to happen, but you don't want to change.
Yeah. And that's the climate of the day. That's why I said the concept today is when we were talking about the whole get the person drunk, the mindset is, like you said, let me make you woozy enough to make a decision to choose me. And after you choose me, you'll recognize that you are in a covenant, and hopefully the just person in you will simply just stay and work it out. Even when you realize you made the wrong choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The reality is that nothing good has ever come from a drunk decision. Not driving.
Wow.
Not having sex and getting somebody pregnant and you ain't married to them.
Wow, you're right.
Not sleeping with somebody that you don't know who they are.
How many times have we heard people say, this person is a love child?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though. A lot of times, oh, this is gonna mess somebody up. It's already messing me up right now. we making drunk decisions, but we haven't drunk a bit of liquor. But we making drunk decisions in our lives every single day. You know what I'm saying? We're drunk off of whatever problems that we're going through, whatever issues that we're having, whatever else somebody else is trying to do. We're drunk off of all these different things. We're not hardly sober.
Yeah.
Because if we were sober, we would make different decisions.
Wow. Wow, Bruce. You came in the right time, Bruce. Come on, it's hot inside of you. Come on, Bruce.
I mean, the spirit must be like sitting on the other opening. Hypocrites
are
actors.
Wow.
That is the true definition of hypocrite.
Wow.
Is actors.
Yeah.
And we run across people. I'm going to say women. That's where I'm at this morning. I mean, this afternoon, brothers.
All right.
Women who are at our age, who feel as though because they made drunk decisions, that they are entitled now to be married.
Wow.
I've ran into some that once you start the relationship off, as soon as the gun is shot, pow, and you start running down the relationship track, they talk in marriage. You don't even know my middle name.
Right.
You don't even know my temperament.
Right.
Wow.
And you are so drunk in your agenda that you don't listen to me describe me.
Wow. Yeah.
Now I say that, Charles, because I guess according to some, it's relative. Some consider my business to be successful.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so they assume, many assume, that business means, or millionaire means that you got $1 million cash.
Right.
Right. So somehow their agenda becomes enlightened with, oh, he can give me what's entitled to me, what I deserve, especially at my age.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the minute you do not follow through, and this is what I would like for you guys to touch on.
Okay.
When we don't follow through, when we know what their agenda is, we know what their agenda is, when we don't follow through with it according to their narrative and how they switch, their personality switches.
Yeah.
And you get an entirely different individual.
Yeah.
I call that individual Jezebel.
Wow.
Okay.
She comes out when she don't get what she wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
It comes out.
Yeah. And you don't want to see her. You don't want to see her.
No. The entire time we're telling them, brothers, we're telling them.
Yeah.
Hey, slow down.
Right.
Hey, whoa, let's take it easy.
Right.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm interested.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to get to know who you are.
Yeah.
We have time.
Yeah.
But they're fast tracking their agenda.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't.
And Bruce, here's the other thing. Bruce, you actually came in at the perfect time. In 5 minutes, Mr. Ford has to go to another thing. So it's a perfect baton switch. Great.
Yeah.
Great time. Look, great minds think alike, Bruce. Here's the other part of it. When the thing is this, you know, like you said, man, it's this thing where we get in here, and now men, ladies, we're not trying to bash y'all. We just going to speaking our heart a little bit. Here's the thing. Now, when Bruce said, you get to make your idea, you hang out with the person and you kind of figure it out, and you just not in a rush. You just kind of circumspect, right? You sitting back. But what happens nowadays is when men fail to close, they become fraud. That's the new name for men. When you don't close, you're a fraud.
Yeah.
About I have a change of mind, you're a fraud.
Yeah.
That's what it is, you know.
Let me just add this one little bit before I have to leave.
All right.
The reality is you never want to be with somebody who's going to put pressure on you to do something that you don't want to do.
Wow.
Because that's manipulation. And Bruce can attest to the fact that Jezebel, she was a master of manipulation.
Absolutely.
AKA witchcraft.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with nobody like that.
Yes.
Because they'll have you in a situation that you can't figure how to get out of.
That's right.
Get with somebody who's going to be on your level. Look, whenever I got into new relationships, my first preamble, my first disclaimer was, we are taking this slow.
Wow.
We're not going to rush. We're not going to do nothing prematurely. We're not going to do all this stuff based on somebody else's time schedule. No, we're going to walk this path as slow as we possibly can, so that we both have the necessary information, whether it's mental information, emotional information, mental information, spiritual information, to make a decision that's going to literally affect the rest of our lives.
That's right.
That's real talk.
Yeah.
That's real talk. Because there's so many levels of a person that you just need to see before making a decision. Number one, I always say the first thing you need to keep in mind before any selections is the possibility of peace, and you measure that by the level of anger that a person possesses. Wow. If a person is with you, look, I don't care about nothing else. What I want to see first is the level of that anger, because the level of that anger lets me know just how less of peace I'm going to have. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to know first. That, and then you need to know, how are people content with where they are in life economically? Because a person can choose you from a place of economics that they won't choose you if they were elevated.
That's right.
Some people, if they were in a different place, they wouldn't give you the time of day. They choose you because they are flatlined and they have nothing better to do, and you're a decent suitor. But if you being the man is trying to make a serious decision to make this person your wife, and then while you're engaged to them, the wife gets some kind of upgrade, and the job is telling her, we're going to send you to Taiwan to be the VP of operations. You're going to make $200,000 a year. Adam, I got to put my career first. It switches up because you didn't know who the person was at their economic core. That makes a big difference. That makes a difference. And you need to see how people how do they weather their low places. That's true. Because a low place person, I mean, when somebody spirals out of control from a low place, that spirit can fill the house. And your whole atmosphere will be turned upside down because that spirit is draining the whole relationship. So you got to be able to watch people through and through and see what you're dealing with. Listen, sexually, Bruce, you better know what you're dealing with, because you may be connected to somebody that has a whole other turn up idea than you.
Yes.
And they expect for you to maintain that turn up. And if you don't, they creeping. So you better know what you're dealing with. I know you got to go.
I got to get ready to go, guys. But you guys carry on. I'll be watching.
Yeah. All right, sir.
All right, man.
See you later, sir.
All right.
Take it easy now.
So Bruce, you tell them that you have to know what you're dealing with physically, because it's nothing like trying to be involved with someone and the person is unbeknownst to them, they're not meeting the mark physically, and the other person has a whole entirely different sexual expectation. And you talking about marrying this person. That's a whole serious deal right there in itself.
And if they have an agenda, that's the word that's ringing through my spirit, man.
Yeah.
If they have an agenda. I'm sorry, I blanked out.
Oh, that's all right. All right.
If they have an agenda, they won't tell you what they really think or feel about your sexual activity.
Absolutely. Wow.
Until there's a fallout.
Yeah. You're right.
When there's a fallout, here comes everything.
Comes out. After the fallout, it all comes out.
Yeah, it all comes out. And you're this and you're that, and you weren't that big anyway, and you're gay, and all that is all coming out.
Yeah.
And you say, man, where was this person 3 days ago?
But wow. Wow. But you know what's so crazy about agendas, Bruce? Agenda or not, it's just me talking personally. If I have an agenda, I just cannot see, I can't see faking it to obtain a person that I know that I won't be content with after I get them.
Right.
If I'm not going to be content with you after I get you, I'm not playing the game. Like, I don't care about the agenda, because I know once we get married or once we go over to the other side, we tied at the hip. And if I'm not cool with being at the hip with you, that's not going to work. So, you know, that's the whole thing about these agendas. Yeah, you trying to get an agenda to grab something, but when you grab it, what about you? What about your happiness? Is your life wrapped up in an agenda, in the satisfaction of an agenda? Or, you know what? This is crazy. Yeah, man.
Is your intention towards the person or towards the agenda?
Yeah.
You say, okay, this person don't have a full tuxedo on, but they got a nice little blazer, so they can come to my event. I'll let them come to my event. They're not all the way dressed, but I can tolerate them being halfway dressed so I can get my mission accomplished. Yeah. And when I get that security or that money or whatever the case may be from this individual, then, and once I'm secure, then I can start telling them how he don't look good. He don't have enough clothes on. He need to have a full tuxedo with me.
Wow. Wow.
If that makes any sense.
Wow. A lot of sense.
Yeah. What type of intention do you have? Is it about your security? Is it about your need? Or is it actually about getting to know the person to see if you fit? Wow. Because like Adam said, we're fitting for a lifetime. Yeah.
It's more than the game. It's more than the game, man. You know, I saw something someone said maybe. So Nola says men are so used to being in a toxic relationships. So when they have a good woman, they don't see the value of the good woman for having a block of ice over their heart, not allowing love to happen, thinking that someone wants to lock them down. It's called selfish intent. So what I wanted to say to that is this. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing, Nola. A lot of y'all have girlfriends that contribute to this toxic behavior that you don't check. You go your way and she go her way. But then when you come across that good man that possibly been touched by her, you get mad at him instead of checking the friend that you have access to. And I'm saying this to say, I think a lot of women could help each other if they check the bogus friend. All women that travel in these packs, they know that they have certain friends that are bogus. They got the friend sleeping with the married man, the friend that give it up every time they go to the party. She's sleeping with somebody the first night. All those behaviors that don't leave men with a kind of like a good overall view. They like, I don't know, this ain't good out here, Bruce. This is what it is. And so that man becomes internalized and locked up because he don't think nothing good exists because everything is easy. And so if you have these friends that are like this, I just think it's in order to check them and then that at least put something on their mind to think about their choices, just as it is with men. Same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wow. See there? See that? Bruce, I was speaking prophetically. Look, here goes somebody, Miss Danielle gonna say, do men do that with men though? See, here is the thing. We can never take the message. We are always, and this isn't just for you, Danielle, this in general, we are always in posture to fire back rather than to receive. All we want to do is to fire back, and rather than just to say, look, that's true. Because listen, come on, I wouldn't be saying that the way I was saying that if at the end of the day, women don't want to marry themselves. They don't want to marry another woman, some of them anyway. So if that's the case, if we want to have a clean circle, the men should help the men, the women should help the men. Help the women. And if everybody's pruning and mentoring one another and correcting in our respective circles, when we fall into these particular places with people of interest, things will be better than what they are now. It's not good now, Yeah.
So that's why iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
But in a lot of circles, people are not telling their friends truth.
Yeah.
They're just co-signing their pain.
Yeah.
Or co-signing their disappointment.
Yes. Wow.
Or co-signing the fact that they haven't broken off those soul ties.
Yes.
So whenever she gets with her girlfriends and they start talking about Tony, her girlfriends don't say, "Look, sis, you need to let Tony go. A, B, C, D, E, and get your life together." They don't do that.
Yes.
They just join in. Yeah, girl, Tony wasn't this and Tony wasn't that. How can you grow if no one is checking you?
Wow. Wow.
We're acting. We're hypocrites.
Yeah.
We're acting. Yeah. Tell people the raw truth.
Yeah.
And there's only few. I got one now, but there's a few that I've ran across, bro, in 51 years that can handle raw, honest truth about themselves the way we see it.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like they'll buck it and fight it, man.
Wow. Wow. Wow, that's good stuff. Man, this is a serious topic, but you know, in order for us, like you said, to get to that point, all of us just need to do a better job of looking in the mirror and checking ourselves, right? Checking ourselves first, because we know all the other areas we struggle in. We know where we're bogus in, but instead of sitting there long enough to start to plant the seed of correction, we just say, yeah, I see all that in the mirror, but I'm still gonna go out here with this bottle of Henny in my pocket so I can pour in their drink so they can get drunk and fall in love with me. That's what we want to do. We want to circumvent all that and just get the person to fall, and that's it. You know. So yeah. Wow. Well, thanks. Hey, Mr. Brute, you got something else you want to say real quick? Oh, good.
No, that's it, bro. Y'all bless me today, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, you came in the perfect timing. And listen, you always know anytime. You got an open pass, sir. Anytime you just tell me to send you the link in this home.
That's what's up, brother. That's what's up.
This is how we do. But no, y'all, we thank y'all for tuning in. And ladies, we weren't trying to go in this direction. The question was just geared toward the lady wanted to know what the men thought. So that's how we kind of shifted it like this. We're not trying to beat up on y'all. We'll give y'all days so y'all can beat up on us. But anyway, as usual, let's continue to heal the world one heart at a time. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks again, Mr. Sir Bruce there. Take care, y'all. Love y'all. Take care.